for you today. Hi, Jim. Stay over here. All right, morning. Let's say hi to Danny. Hi, Danny. And he's chilling out with Dad today. So what we got is a big ass pine log that my customer needs a 26-inch wide plank out of. Now it can't be natural edge. It's got to be a square plank, 26 inches wide. So to get that kind of width, you need to get up in a 30-inch log, which is, pretty much max for my Norwood mill. So we're going to get this thing up on the mill. I've checked out 3 logs this morning. Each log has its own individual problems. My drop dead length that I need is 11 feet. And right now I got this cut at 11'6", which works out on this log that it's just past this big swell right here. So you can see that nice big fat swell is at 11 feet. It's kind of right in the middle of it. If I had to come out to that thin section where I cut it, I don't have my 26. And every part of this log and every part of the 3 that I have that were candidates have a couple of different challenges. This one, I believe after measuring my ass off here, that if I keep it on the mill in this orientation, being parallel to the ground, I think I have my 26 in the middle. So right here, I've got 29 in the wood. So I can get 26 here. I'm fat through here. I get a little teeny bit of sweep right here, which is, this is the most dangerous spot, but lucky for me, it sweeps out on this side. And just eyeballing it, it's close, but it looks, this is the only spot, and I can go down to 25/11 if I have to. I mean, I can be a ½ inch smaller than that. The rest of the log looks good. Looks like I'm solid all the way out to the cut on my 26. Trying to do it the other way, the vertical way, which I've got, is tighter, and there's a couple of spots at the bottom where it sweeps up where I think it'll be a problem. So this log is the only one I think that could do it, and this orientation has got to be the orientation that I cut it on, and then I think I can get a 26-inch wide solid plank out of this. I didn't realize, when he first called me, I'm like, oh yeah, I got plenty big enough logs to do that. If it was natural edge, no problem. I could make 26, no problem. But he doesn't want natural edge. He wants it cut square. And every damn log that I have is close. One's 2 inches short. Looks like I could get the width. One's plenty of width. Plenty of length. And it looks like it's got this one little section in the middle where it tapers down and it's going to be too close. This one looks like it's got the best chance. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to throw a band on. I got a couple of maintenance things to do. I gotta go up, see how much fluid I got in the mill. I might have to mix myself a gallon of fluid. I thought that I might have to be chainsaw milling it, which is I would cut a flat on the top as far as I could go with the mill and then chainsaw mill the rest of it. But this one looks like I might be able to get through it. It looks like I might be okay. So we'll try it. You know, these mills say they'll cut 30, 31, 30, 29, whatever. Well, that's all well and good if the log's perfectly straight and's got nothing on it. And once you start having a little bit of sweep here and there, a little bit of curve to the log, then all of a sudden it'll bump into it somewhere. So worst case scenario, we cut down the top as far as we can go till we start hitting. And then we finish it off on the chainsaw mill, right on the mill deck. I'll probably, would see how it would go, but I'd probably like cut a 6-inch thick slab to get some 6x6s out of it or something like, or 2x6s, take that off, keep going down until I hit where I need to take my 2-inch slab, keep measuring to make sure that I don't get inside that 26 dimension, and mill off my 2-inch thick slab at hopefully over 26, take everything off the mill and edge it down. So it's only 2 inches thick. I can actually edge it with a circular saw, so I'd probably do that, just chalk some lines on it. And it's going to be close. I hate to mill this whole log and find out I can't do it, but the good part is that because he wants 2 inches thick, worst case scenario, it turns into 2x6s and 2x8s and 2x12s and whatever. So there's not going to be any waste, but it would be a whole day's work for nothing other than stock and lumber, which these logs got to get cut anyway. So that's where we're at. I'm probably going to title this video Attack of the Clones. So I have 5 mill saws. That is one of them. It hasn't run in probably a year. It's a bear to pull over. It's ported. It's got super high compression. It's only got 23,000 squish for a 100cc saw. It's ported to the hilt. Ported exhaust, everything. It's a beast. So that one had a 42-inch bar on it. I lent it out to a tree service buddy of mine who was doing some stumping one day. So it's already got the 26 on it. The 42 on it. And I would need to max out my 36-inch mill, and the 42 will do that. So that's why I brought that saw down. I also brought another clone down from, it's basically the same exact identical saw. This happens to be my oldest one. This one was the first one that I built probably 8 years ago. That's got a little 25 on it. I figured I'd bring it down and run it because the 4 mill saws that I have hanging, I'll have fuel in them. And I think I want to run them all out today, except for this one. And this one did start up and runs good, so it's a testament to that Red Armor mix that it's been sitting for like a year and fired up. Don't get me wrong, it was hard to pull over. That's me standing on it, 2 arms pulling that thing over for the first time. Once it runs a little bit, like when it's in the mill, it's a one-hand pull job. Don't even need to hit the decomp button when it's warm and been running. But to first start in the cold like this, that's a bear to pull over. This one's not as bad. And there's a little bit of difference in the timing numbers and stuff like that, and timing advance and other things that cause the issues. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up trying to pause you guys as much as I can. I'm going to pause you guys. I'm going to get the mill ready to go. We'll probably put the tongs on this thing so I can set it on the mill the way I want it. And we'll take it from there. So I got a little bit of mill prep to do. Like I said, got a little bit of mill prep to do. Got to throw a band on it, throw some water in it, probably put some fuel in it. Yeah, I got to bring my fuel can down too. It's up in the garage. And get all ready to go. And when I am ready to go, I'll bring you guys back and I'll take you through the journey with me. See if we can get a 26-inch wide, square, by 2 inches thick, by 11 feet long plank out of the center of that nasty looking log right there. It's going to be close. It's going to piss me off if I can't, because if I can't get it out of this one, I can't get it out of anything I have. So it's, you know, and you got to think too, at $1 a board foot, you know, it's you know, only ends up being let's see, 11 foot times 2, it's 22 times 2, 44, plus half of that. It's probably a $70 plank at $1 a board foot. I'm gonna have to charge him a little bit for some custom cutting here, so it's probably gonna be a $100 plank, and it's gonna basically be a whole afternoon for a $100 plank. But that's where we're at, and I don't know where else he'd get it if he can't get it here. So we'll try to do it. We'll do the best we can. Hopefully we can get it. Seems like every time I do something, it's like tight. You know, it's like they couldn't get it anywhere else. And every log that I have all these logs out here piled up all over the place, and I have to find just the right one, and it's going to be tight milling, and this one's going to be the same story. So put you on pause. If I screw up somehow and hit stop, I'll run part 2, part 3, whatever, but hopefully we can just all do this in 1 or 2 parts. So today, attack of the clones. Hopefully we'll get into some chainsaw milling too, and we'll see what happens. Peace. All right, clone number 2, we're gonna do some trimming. right, well, I got it trimmed up as close as I could get without running into the tongs. You guys missed a hell of a show here. I friggin' after I cut the end off that log that you guys watched, I had a customer show up, so I dealt with them for a while, and then I picked that log up because it was blocking me. I was going to put the tongs on it, but then after I picked it up, I said, well, let me see if I can set it down in the mill with the forks. So check this out. So I was trying to get it up on the mill. See, I'll go around the other way. And it kind of rolled backwards on me just as I was getting up towards the mill, and so I kind of tried to roll forward a little bit to catch it. I lost the log. It rolled off onto the mill. Look at the ding. I put at least 2 dings in my rail. Thank God that the carriage doesn't ride on this. Actually, my bearings on the bottom may not clear this. I might have to beat that up. I'll have to try it because the bearing that rolls underneath here is probably going to hit that. I dinged it there and down there a little bit. So actually, let's do that right now while we're here. Let's see if the carriage is going to roll over it or if it's going to stop on it. It's probably going to stop on it. Yep. Alright, so I got to get that beat up. I knocked the mill off the boards. I had to come in and fork under it, pick it back up, and of course I put it down on bark and crap. So then I had to pick up each side and clean out under the feet and then put it back down. So yeah, it was a friggin' disaster. So now I get the tongs on it and we're almost ready to go except for that right there. So let's see if I can grab my sledge. I'll pause you guys for a second. I'll let you watch this. I'll pause you guys for a second and grab my little sledge out of the truck. See if I can beat that up. First real damage I've done to the mill. Can't believe wood just did it though. But so the saw carriage doesn't ride on this. It rides on this. But there's a bearing underneath that rides under here to keep the saw carriage from lifting. So let's see if we can. Get this other glove off here. It's getting close. If you guys can see it or not, hopefully you can. Put 2 hands on it, maybe. So that one looks good. See if it rides past it. Oh, I'm gonna hit the stops if I go too far. Get my blade up a little bit so I don't hit the stops. Goes past that one. Let's see about the other one. Just the back bearing, the front bearing looks like it's a little low, so the back bearing looks like it's a little bit tighter. Just hit this one a couple times. All right, well, crisis averted. So get you guys back over here. I'll try to put this thing up on the mill. I also, while I was doing my prep work on the mill, I also squared up that one dog that wasn't square. I don't know how that got knocked out so bad, but I did square that up. So I'll let you guys have a view back here. We'll put this thing up on the mill. You guys let me know when I get close. Just yell at me when I get close. That second clone saw I fired up, I need a little bit more fuel on the low side on the carb adjustment. These have to be in a few inches. This, where I have it right now, is where a vertical log will clear the angle in the saw carriage, so I get maximum height. I don't know if I'm going to have to pull these over and move it over, but we'll see. Let's try to get it up on the mill first, and then we'll try to get it adjusted, and I'll peel the bark off it, and I'll probably do that off camera. Needs to end up going like this a little bit. So let's get it up there, and hopefully we'll see. I don't think the overall orientation of this log is going to be too critical, except for this way. As far as it being up and down and, you know, cranking up one end, I don't think that's going to be critical at all. Right now I'm just trying to keep it out of the dirt. Alright, so that's the orientation I wanted. Tell me my right line. I have to throw the forks on. I'll pause you guys while I go throw the forks on. And then we can see what we got. I'll be back in a minute. All right, we got all the bark stripped off her. I did a little more trimming. I got it dogged down the best I can. The problem with big logs like this is that the dogs, you gotta grab what you can grab because the dogs will stick out into where the carriage goes on the side. So I only got one dog on it. I also used the log dog assist and kind of wedged it in. Hopefully that keeps it from moving. I gotta go grab some lunch. So what I'm gonna do is let's take the top off this. We'll take a few cuts off the top, and then I'm gonna end up doing a part 2. So let's watch that. And if the blade's not cutting really good, I'll put a brand new band on in part 2 to do the finish cut. So let's see what we got. a video of me building this axe handle. Alright, so this is a good spot to go into part two, because right now I won't clear the next cut. I could chop my way down and do one more cut. The log needs to go that way. I got plenty of clearance on this side. I'll have to, when I flip it over, I will get it moved that way a little bit and start hacking from the other side. The slab that we're going to need is we will measure where our max width is. It kind of looks like it's the one right above the pith right here, which would be the one below the pith on the other side. I could go to chainsaw milling right now. We're going to go to a part two, and let me think about it. There's a possibility that I might just want to throw a rip chain on and go to chainsaw milling right now. 8-minute passes. If I took a big 6-inch chunk off right now, or if I measured, so I guess what I'm saying, let me grab a tape measure just before I go. Got 9,000 tape measures out here, and there isn't one where I can see it right here. So we need at least 26. So right here I have 28, 28 and a half, 28. So where I have 28 and a half, right here, that's going to be the middle of my 2-inch slab. So if I come up an inch, approximately right there, right now I've got 9 inches down to that. And if I go 2 inches like this and just mark one right here, that's going to be about the pith. So with 9 inches, I really could take 2 cuts. I could do a 4, a 4 and a 4, and lose 6/8. So if I did 2 cuts and did a 4 and a 4, I'd lose 6/8, and that would get me about right there. So that would be 8 6/8. So 8 3/4. That's perfect. So technically right now, if I did fire up the chainsaw mill, I'd have 1, 2, 3 cuts, and I'd have my piece. Versus flipping it over and trying to deal with getting clearance. I think we'll try and flip it and cut it on the mill. Why not? Do I see anything that's going to screw with me? Actually, it's better. When I flip this over, this side over here is pretty straight. So as long as I get it oriented so that I have clearance, I think we're good. And this side's knobby. The only place I'm going to be close on the 20. It looks like I got the 26. The only place I'm going to be close is down there, just past that second knob, and it's bad on this side. So it looks like I'm going to have my 26. So I am going to go to lunch, and when I come back, we'll flip this thing over and do a part 2. Man, I got myself really, really good with one of the kickback on one of my saws. Look at that. Man, that hurts. So 3 cuts would take me about 8, 8, and 8. So about 25 minutes. 2 of them are at the same height. 4 inches thick, 4 inches thick, and then a 2. So in 24 minutes, I would be technically done. Well, hell with it. When I get back, we'll see if we can flip it over and see if we can do it on the sawmill. And if we can't, we'll have to mill some with the chainsaw. So this is going to be part 1, and we'll flip over to a part 2 when I get back.